The Swedish-born winger Anthony Elanga is set to become the first victim of the sale process at Manchester United as the club looks to raise funds to buy major important signings. Welcome to the Hotspot. My name is Webb and a very good morning to you. Well, there's quite a lot happening since that first game in the preseason where United beat up on Leeds United by 2 goals to nil. Erik Ten Hag might have changed his mind about a couple of players and most specifically the youngster Amad Diallo, who could be now favoured ahead of Anthony Elanga. Now, according to the latest reports coming through, and this was broken by Fabrizio Romano, that Everton are leading the chase now to sign Anthony Elanga from Manchester United. Several clubs have been interested in Elanga, but Everton looks to be the favourites to land the 21-year-old Swedish international. Now, as we speak, Elanga is not part of the United team that is enjoying the preseason, as he is training with his teammate, that is Mason Greenwood. They were picture training together in Dubai as they do try to get and pick their form. Of course, for Greenwood, he has been off for a couple of months, whereas Elanga is yet to report to training, as he was among those players who participated in the international break, who are playing for their countries. So he's not yet back in training. He's expected to return next week, but Elanga is probably not going to stay long at United, as it is now Everton are so interested in him, and they are willing to pay some cash to United, but the valuation is what is delaying the whole process. Apparently, United want about £15 million for Anthony Elanga, but Everton feel they can go down to between 8 to 10 million pounds. So the valuation might be the impediment to this, but Everton are so serious on signing the 21-year-old youngster who is also interested, who has also attracted the attention of several other clubs. But what does this mean? The fact that Elanga is among now those who should be leaving. Of course, we also know that Fred is most likely going to be leaving, and probably Dean Henderson. So you get a feeling that, like I've been saying, United could be selling about 3 players for about an average of £15 million each. That would make it 45 million. That's enough to sign one of the major signings United would want. Any of the players United has been linked with could go for a cool 45 million or less. Axel Disasi, Sofian Amrabat, they spoke of Goncalo Ramos. All of these players can really go for 45 million pounds or less. So you think the sale could make sense, but of course we first want to see a player sold. Elanga has been there since 2021 at the club. He has had chances. I don't think anyone can say that Elanga has not been given a chance to prove himself. I think he has been given enough chances to try and prove himself, but he has surely failed, as failed them as they come. So it wouldn't be surprising and shocking for me for him to be sold. I think he's among those we expected to go. I feel like, it would be a good time for him to go now, because United badly needs money. After that preseason game against Leeds United, Erik Ten Hag was clear, and of course saying they need to make signings. Obviously they need the players, the senior players they want should be coming in at the club early, and obviously if that is going to happen, they have got to be able to sell. So it's good that Everton are advanced in their interest, have stepped up their interest for him, and we hope that is the case with other players like Fred, who are wanted by Fulham and the likes. Fred was omitted from the game against Leeds United, whereas he was part of the initial squad. He did not play the game. Of course, we'll get to know the reasons, but we'll see what will happen later on. But for me, the departure of Elanga gives me, I think, one thing. After seeing how Amad Diallo played in that friendly game against Leeds United, and not to say that because of one performance in a friendly game he has now come of age, but I think having followed him in the Championship, where he scored 12 goals and assisted 3 times for Sunderland, you feel this young boy has come of age, and probably the confidence that Erik Ten Hag has now in letting go of another winger like Elanga, who has been, I think, one of the third priorities for him, I think is perhaps the fact that maybe now he feels like Amad Diallo could have come of age. After that game, I felt like Amad Diallo, looked impressive. He improved. He started on the right wing. I felt like he was more confident on the ball, and I felt like this could be his time to stay. And of course, so many Man United supporters would want to see Amad Diallo stay around and play football, because you feel he has got the game in his feet. So you think I think it's a sign for me that maybe Elanga's departure could be actually the blessing that Amad Diallo has always been hoping for, to try and get more opportunities to play in the senior team. Because I mean, he was signed for £30 million. He's young. You think you don't want to lose him entirely without giving him enough chance to prove himself. So I think it's a good thing that this is coming out now, because this is the crucial moment where we are just about to seal Andrew Onana. You get a feeling you will want to get as much money as we can so far, so that by the time we go to the tour of US, we have the funds to sign most of the players we want at our pace. So for me, I feel like this is an important development. It's an important update, and perhaps Erik Ten Hag wanted to say a thing or two about other certain players, but for me, I think the departure of Elanga means a lot in terms of giving chance to another young player to try and prove himself in the senior team in Amad Diallo, but also in terms of getting money for United to go on and sign a certain player, to of course raising money to top up and improve on our transfer budget. It's an important time and an important moment for Manchester United. But going back a bit to that pre-season game against Leeds United, you felt that whereas of course most of the players who played in that game are not going to be starting games for Manchester United, you feel that those who are senior and are expected to be playing competitively when the season begins did have, I think, a decent representation of themselves. I felt like Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane looked quite good, having been laid off because of injuries since April. I felt like they were steady. If I were to give them marks, I would probably give them a 5.8 out of 10 or thereabout. They were more than average, and I think for me that's fair enough for guys who have been off for a long time and just returning for the first time. Mason Mount, I felt like he had a good 20 or 25 minutes in the opening minutes of the game. He felt like he was in the right spaces. He's a technical player. You could clearly see it. He was more involved. He was, I think, dominating his hall. I felt like that was good. Did he run out of steam probably so early? Maybe because he's just returning from preseason, and maybe the fitness is not there yet. But I think he showed glimpses of the guy Erik Ten Hag was seeing in Chelsea. And if he can get his full fitness and keep doing that for 90 minutes or so, perhaps then he could be an important player and maybe win over the hearts of the naysayers, who felt like he was not worth, first of all, the money United paid for him, but also not being a priority for the club, for Man United, except for the coach. But yeah, so that's how Man United, is. That's the update concerning United. You feel it's going to be an exciting few days coming. We know that Onana Day is also, or today it's the D-Day. We'll be talking about that in the next video. But I think it's an exciting time. It's an exciting moment, seeing that United is beginning to sell players. We hope they sell many of them in quick succession and raise as much money as they can so fast, so that the funds are there, and then we just now have to go into the negotiations and talk, so that we keep signing players back to back and utilize the preseason. You can imagine we played the first preseason game without, I would say, without a goalkeeper, because it was Tom Heaton in between the sticks. We're talking a 38-year-old who has got nothing to fight for really. I think all he offers to United is his experience. Then which would come in handy if anything happened and the first two goalkeepers are not available, which is a rare occurrence in football. But if it happened, you need a goalkeeper with experience. That's why Tom Heaton will always be there. But also, you don't have a striker. We started a game with Jadon Sancho. If you didn't see the starting squad for Manchester United, I could get it for you. But I mean, starting a preseason game without a striker, you felt was quite disappointing. Jadon Sancho is the one who started as our number 9. He's never played number 9, so it shows you how much we need money now so that we make signings so fast if we are going to maximize the preseason. That's the team that started, but for me, I think I was most impressed by Amad Diallo, and I do get a feeling that his performance might have even given Erik Ten Hag the confidence to proceed and let go of Elanga, who has failed to prove himself. I won't be surprised, whereas there were reports that Diallo could be included in the bid to try and get Rasmus Højlund. I feel like he might actually be given a chance as if he goes on to perform the way he did perform yesterday and show that those signs of confidence and maturity. Perhaps the loan move to Sunderland could have made him an even more mature player, an unimproved player to come in and fit into the heat of playing for Manchester United in the English Premier League. Subscribe to the Hotspot. My name is Webb. We'll talk later.